This scooter here, you want to put your knee on the scooter and you want to just kind of roll it around. On the standard models, these wheels can get a flat spot. So this one is really flat. Normally it's not as worn down and easy to spot. This has actually gone through the rubber casing down to the plastic. So word of warning is these bolts here are easy to strip. I don't recommend using, so this is a 6 mil hex key. This is hardened steel. I don't recommend using the all-terrain, the 6 mil hex keys that come with the all-terrain scooters. Those are made out of aluminum and it will just strip it out. And then this would be really hard to get off. So the first thing you want to do on getting this off is just give it a little bit of a test. So lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So we're going to be going opposite of the, so we're going right, I'm sorry, left. And you want to put the brake on, lock the brake. Both brakes is even better, lock them both. So it's not going to move, and just kind of give it a little twist and you're like, yeah, that's really on there tight. So I'm going to grab a little bar and we're going to just kind of give it a little bit of a hit just to kind of loosen it up. And the reason these come on so tight, or they're so tight, is because it has this blue Loctite on there. So the red Loctite is like a permanent, near permanent bond. The blue Loctite, you can actually break the bond, but it just takes a lot of strength. But we're trying to be careful not to strip this nut out. So just give it some taps. That usually does it. If this still doesn't turn, you can put some more leverage on it. And you want to push down, so push in on it and try untightening it. Yeah, it's not going to go. So next method. So we tried doing it bare hand first. That didn't work. We tried pounding on it a little bit, and that didn't work. So now we need to put some leverage on it. And on this, you want to still push in real hard. This is just a little, 3/4 inch pipe. And then again, just crank on it. But be careful not to strip it. Push in. And there we go. If this didn't work, the next thing you'd need to do was probably take a torch to the bolt and heat it up and try it again with the bar after you heat it up with the torch. And then if that didn't work, the way to get it off would be a impact set, like an, I forget what you call it, the vibrating kind. So this is working okay. Good to go as well. That's great. You guys should always have some spare standard wheels lying around. Okay, so I've got one here in the bag. Going to go ahead and grab that. That was definitely very flat right there. Get this one ready to go. Go ahead and clean this up a little bit since we're at it. So that washer, 2 washers, and then this comes off. Might be a little bit of hair in there. Yeah, there's a little bit of hair. Clean that up. Looks like the brake. So here's the brake pad. If you want to zoom in on that, that's what a brake pad looks like. And these little bolts adjust and push in on the brake pad, which allows it to tighten up quicker. This is a fine-tune adjustment you can make. Just FYI, if you're having issues adjusting the brakes, these little bolts, set screws, push in on the pad. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this back on there. Put the washers back the way I found them. Like so. Get the wheel, the new wheel. Get that bolt in there. Okay. There's a little bolt or a little like a nut that goes inside there. You got to get it centered. Okay. Now we get the bolt in, if we're lucky, because it's not centered yet. There we go. Okay, this goes back onto here. and then fits into those grooves. So those grooves right there, the wheel fits into those grooves. You just kind of hand turn it and get it on there. Oh, one thing here I want to show you. The blue Loctite is on these. You can see the blue Loctite on there. That keeps I would get some at Home Depot and just have some around, because you want to make sure it's on there, because we don't want these wheels falling off. But don't use the red Loctite or you'll never be able to get it off. But that had enough blue Loctite on there to keep it on long term once we get this wheel back on. So go ahead and hand tighten it like so, and then finish it off like that, and no more. And that's it, okay? Final test. It feels good, nice and round. It looks like there's a wrapping on this, but it doesn't come, there's no wrapping. You can see that line right there. It looks like there's some kind of plastic wrapping on there. There isn't. And it kind of wears down over time. So there's nothing to remove. Once you remove the bag off the wheel, that's all you need to do. And this is on a replacement wheel. The replacement wheels come in a bag. And that's it. That's how you replace a standard wheel. Thanks. Okay, this is all-terrain. We're going to be removing the back wheel. This actually doesn't need to be removed. It's perfectly fine, but I'm just going to give you an example of how to do that. So go ahead and put I believe it's an 8mm hex wrench on there. I pre-loosened this a little bit, but you're going to want something that's longer than this. This doesn't give you nearly enough leverage, but this is all I had on hand at this filming location, so something longer. Go ahead and loosen it up, take that off, and then usually just get it on its side is usually the easiest way to keep working with it, like so. Just keep going, loosen that wheel, and you're going to do this when you need to like replace the rim, like if the rim is cracked, but you don't have to take this off to replace the tube or the tire. The tires can get bald sometimes. Those just come right off the rim. There's no need to take the whole wheel off. The only time you're going to be taking the wheel off is if, on an all-terrain, is if the rim is like cracked or warped or something, which is fortunately really rare. All right, so we got this. And there we go again with that blue lock thread. So that's good to go. You want to keep this clean. Put it in a place where there's no gravel going to get on there. Go ahead and pull that off. And there we go. Yep, so here's your brake drum. These are the adjustments again for your brake drum. The pad, I'm sorry, the pad looks good. A little bit low here, but overall looks good. And if you ever needed to change out the pad, you just got to get the wheel off and change this pad out. And we can get those for you, the pads. We just don't, it's not a standard replacement item because it's not, these pads last for years. Okay, let's go ahead and get this back on. That's it. That's the process. Get that back on there. Crank it down. Anyway, yep. Even if you have a drill too, to get one of these on a drill is very handy. My house, where I work on mine, we're not at my house now. I have a drill that will do this quickly. If these do get locked up and you can't get them off, an impact wrench, if you have one of those, that's really going to be helpful. You don't want to over tighten these here. The blue Loctite takes care of all the hard work and locks it on. Just get it good and hand tight. And that should be good. All right. That's how to change a wheel on an all-terrain scooter. Thanks.